Hey guys, what's going on? If you're new here, welcome. My name is BrittanyNichole. I have hooded eyes and I tend to do a lot of hooded eyeshadow tutorials on my channel that are simple, informative, and achievable no matter what level of makeup you're at. But today we're stepping away from the eyeshadow and we are talking all about the face. We are doing an all cream makeup tutorial. So I went through my products and picked out the products that are my go-to when it comes to creams. Now I use a lot of powder products most of the time, but when it comes to cream, these are my go-tos because I know they last all day and they all kind of set themselves down to a powder finish, so they work really well with my skin. Now I feel like I always have to have a huge disclaimer come up and say what works for me might not work for you, what works for you might not work for me. We all have all kinds of different skin. Personally, I'm very normal. I get a little dry around the eye area when it's like winter time, but other than that, I'm really normal. I'm not very acne prone. I do have a couple of breakouts in here because I added a different retinol into my kind of skincare routine and I don't think my skin likes it. So I do have sensitive skin though, I will say that, like this. If something irritates my skin does react to it, but I'm not acne prone, if that makes sense. So if you're interested in seeing a good mix of high-end and drugstore, in all honesty, it's mostly drugstore products for an all cream makeup tutorial, go ahead and keep watching. All right, so this is one of those high-end products. I actually haven't tried this. I kept debating, should I use something I know will work or should I use this because I have been dying to try it. I picked up the Dermablend Instagrip Jelly Primer. I was really interested in this because every Ulta I went to, the Cover FX gripping primer was sold out, and gripping primers are like having a moment right now, so I had to jump on it. This was $33, which is up there. It is 1 fluid ounce, but I'm really excited. The consistency really does feel like jelly. Let me just show you on the back of my hand. That is what it looks like, and it says you need to apply it and let it dry down. My first thought about it was like, that's interesting. Like, are you supposed to apply this on top of the jelly consistency? That's interesting, but like I do like a good stick. I'm gonna have to go in with another little pump there, but I kept thinking, like, do you leave it jelly? Is that what makes it stay so long? But it says you want to wait for it to dry down, so I don't know. I'll let you guys know what I think about this. Anything to make my makeup last longer is good. I don't really have, except for the Too Faced Hangover RX primer, a primer that I'm like obsessed with, and the reviews for this were amazing. All right, we are pretty dry now, so I'm gonna go in with my Catrice HD Liquid Coverage foundation. This definitely dries down to like a powdery matte kind of finish, so I really like this. It looks so pretty on the skin. I think they have a few more colors on their website than they have at Ulta, and I wish they'd change this packaging because the rim like builds up foundation and gets kind of gross pretty fast, but other than that, this works so well on my skin. So I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of, that was a little bit much, but we're gonna work fast here. I'm gonna kind of put a couple of drops where needed, and then I'm just going to take my beauty blender, which is damp. Well, this isn't a beauty blender, this is my Japanese Kumidori sponge, best sponge in the world, and blend this out. This is a nice medium coverage when you first put it on, but you can build it up to really almost full coverage, so I really like this. It's very smoothing on my skin and it lasts all day long even without this gripping primer, so I really like this foundation. I've had it for a while, like a couple years I think now. I've obviously repurchased them since, but I really like them. All right, so that is just one layer of the foundation and it is so pretty. I always put this foundation away and forget about it for a while, and then when I come to it, I'm like, why did I stop using that? It looks like skin, but it gives you the coverage you need. It really covers the redness, and then like I said, it sets down, but it doesn't look powdery, and it lasts all day and just gives you the perfect amount of coverage to where you feel like confident your redness is covered, but not too over the top, you know what I mean? And like I said, it's buildable if you need a little more coverage, and you could always sheer it out with your moisturizer. So let's go into concealer. I'm using the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Concealer. This is in the shade 3 Young. By the way, the Catrice foundation I was using is in the shade 030 Sand Beige. So I love this concealer. I found this at TJ Maxx like not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. I never posted this haul, but this works beautifully on my skin. I'm not sure if they make it anymore because it was at TJ Maxx, and I looked on Sephora and they only had a few available, but I think I saw it on Bloomies. So either way, this is beautiful because it sets down to where I do not need to powder my under eyes, and it looks great all day long. So I'm just gonna use my finger. That's the other beautiful part of this. I can use my finger to apply it, and I feel like it just blends so much more seamlessly into my under eyes with my fingers, and it just takes less time. I like this a lot better with my fingers than with my sponge, and like boom, I'm basically done. That took away, you could see the difference here. You could see the darkness I have right here, totally covered, and like I said, I don't need to set it. It's just a great product. So this is like something I'm gonna have to, if they discontinued it, hunt down. I'm gonna obviously cover the redness on my lids today because this just is like one of the best concealers for my skin that I've ever used. I mean, just look at the difference. So pretty. This is definitely full coverage as well. And that just looks absolutely stunning. So let's go ahead and go into bronzer. So I've talked about this on my channel before, but it has been a hot minute. So I love to cream bronze slash contour with the Maybelline Fit Me in the shade 330 Toffee. You can just apply right from the stick and go right into your contours. Today I'm going to use it on a brush and use it more as a like bronzer, but I love this stuff because the consistency, I talked about this in my last video I think, is so nice. It blends out effortlessly, so it's not like you're going to be blending forever, and it's a really nice kind of cool toned color. So you could use it as a contour or you could use it as a bronzer. My favorite like cream bronzer, if I wanted to go high end, would be Chanel, but this is a pretty good dupe for it. It kind of has the same undertone. So I'm just gonna take this on this Japanesque brush. It doesn't have a number. I got it from TJ Maxx in like a duo, and I'm just gonna work it on the side. This does have like a lighter center area. I don't know why. I think that might be like a moisturizing thing. And then I'm gonna kind of work it on the back of my hand first so it's not too heavy, and then I'm gonna go in and bronze. Probably gonna feather out that edge with a beauty blender in a little too. So it was a little too harsh. Again, the beauty of cream products, you can just kind of stipple back over and it looks gorgeous. Take a little up here. Like, how pretty is that? Oh, gorgeous. I don't know why I have a lot harder of a time bronzing this side of my face than the other side. I feel like this side is a lot more sculpted for some reason. I could be crazy, but that looks so pretty. It's nice and glowy. So I'm just gonna take my Japanese sponge and just kind of hit the edges so it's very blended out and looks very natural. So I already blended the edges into my hair, so I'll really just kind of focus on the center here. I'm tapping very, very lightly. And then if you were into contouring your nose, you could totally go in with a smaller brush and do that right now as well. But that looks beautiful. So now I'm going to go in with my cream blush. So you guys know I recently picked up the Flower Beauty Blush Bomb. So I've got the shade Bubbly, which is a little more pink, and then I've got the shade Pinched, which is a little more corally, and I think I'm going to go in with that shade. So I'm going to put that on the back of my hand, and I'm going to go in with my Real Techniques round sponge. I have a whole video on this if you're interested, but I didn't think I was going to like it, and I really like it for cream blush. It almost gives this like extra sheen as well. It looks so pretty. Let me just get a little closer here so you guys can see. I know these lights sometimes kind of wash it out, but that's just like effortless. It just goes on so easy. Just kind of give myself a little smile when I apply it. I will say though, I do kind of have to use a lot of product. Like each time, I don't know how long it's gonna last me, but each time I use about this much. So if you can hear those little noises, my cat, every time I film, wants to make as much noise as possible for some reason. So that is what he is currently doing. But the next thing we have to do is highlight, and I'm gonna be going in with my ColourPop Lunch Money. This is their Super Shock highlighters. Lots of people know these are absolutely stunning, and I think they work perfectly for a look like this. They kind of dry down to like a powder consistency, and they're just super easy to work with. So I'm just gonna highlight the high points of my cheeks. I don't want to highlight too much because I'm not setting anything. The natural oils in my face will probably, I hope that wasn't just, it probably was focusing on this thing. One woman show here, I never know what it's focusing on, but like I was saying, the natural oils are gonna peek through a little bit, so I don't want to highlight too much, but that is beautiful. If you guys ever struggle, by the way, with highlight, you should just go in front of after you like put on your moisturizer, go in front of a big mirror when you've got a little bit of like dew to your skin, and then just take a picture of yourself, or just remember, look in a mirror and see where you're naturally a little more glowy, and that's where you should highlight. And for me, it's in this little tiny C area. No, I do like to highlight up here as well, just to bring a little extra light to the face, but this is definitely where my skin naturally glows. I don't naturally glow on my nose, but I like to apply a little highlight there and a little on the Cupid's bow because it looks pretty. And then again, I do the same thing. I just lightly touch over with my sponge. So pretty. So I'm gonna quickly pop off here, do my eyebrows. I have just been taking soap and doing kind of a soap brow type of thing. That's kind of what I had when I had no makeup on in the beginning. I just had soap. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna apply a little bit of the Essence Gimme Brow, which is kind of tinted, and that's really all I've been doing lately. I have been loving not filling in my eyebrows. I think it looks really, really pretty. So I'm gonna pop off here, apply those, and I will be right back. All right, so I thought I was filming and I wasn't filming. That has never happened to me, and I've always been like, how do people not know they're not filming? I guess I know now. So I just went in on my eyelids with the e.l.f. Smudge Pot in the color Back to Basics. This really isn't about an eye look. This is more about the face. So I guess it's not horrible that we missed that step, but it literally took me 2 seconds to do this. I have a video on these e.l.f. smudge pots, so if you're interested in seeing that, you can take a look. But all I did was take my Smith 230 and literally just run it over and then under the eyes as well. I used a pencil brush under the eyes. It takes no time. Those e.l.f. smudge pots are so good. They're like $3 and they're beautiful. So I'm just gonna finish blending this out under the eye. And then I'm just gonna take my highlight, the ColourPop Lunch Money, and throw that right in the inner corner. Kind of going for like a messy look with this, which is why I applied it with the Smith 230. I didn't want it to be too perfect. So just gonna rub off the pencil brush, dip into Lunch Money here, and then highlight the inner corners. All right, and then I'm just gonna line my upper lash line with MAC Duck. This is just a brown eyeliner that I think looks a bit more natural than going in with black. And then I'm just gonna give my lashes a good curl and apply a couple coats of the Essence Lash Princess. I am just obsessed with this stuff lately. So I'm gonna do that real quick, and then I will be right back once again, and I will tell you what we're putting on the lips, and that is pretty much it. All right, so very obviously, first of all, I got mascara way up here somehow. I don't usually do that, so it's late. It's like 10 o'clock. I think I'm just tired. But anyway, I'm gonna let that dry down a little bit and then we'll scrape it off with a mascara wand. And then the joy of using cream products, I can always kind of apply a little bit more. When you do this, when you have powder products on, especially like shimmer, it kind of becomes a hot mess. But I also went ahead and did a tiny, tiny, tiny little micro wing. I thought I just needed a little oomph. So I went in with the Kat Von D Hemingway liner. I always forget how great that liner is, especially if you only want to line like a little bit. It applies like the perfect amount of product. So now I'm going to go in and line my lips with the NYX Soft Brown Pencil. This is obviously a very, very dull pencil. I should have sharpened this, but you know, 10 o'clock. All right, and on top of, you know what, first let's see if I can start scraping off this. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I've got a little, as I'm covering you with the mirror, I got a little under here too. And then because I haven't set this, I'll just take this tiny little precise brush and go over a little bit, so that looks good to me. So now I'm gonna take my Flower Beauty Nectar lip mask. These are Petal Pout lip masks. These are beautiful. They have a tiny little bit of color and they are so shiny. So I'm gonna go ahead and plop that. And that's why we filled in our lips. All right, so that is the lips. Now all I have to do is set my makeup. So I'm gonna use, and obviously this is important because we're not going in with any powders. So I'm just gonna take my Morphe Continuous Setting Mist. This is like empty, so I don't even know if anything's gonna come out of this. That was a slow death there. I've got to back up because I absolutely have been loving this stuff. Now this doesn't make your makeup last as long as Scandinavia, but it gives you such a pretty glow. I love it. But I can often go in way too heavy because of that, so I'm just gonna kind of use my hands to fan it down because my cat is in front of me, and if I use my fan, he goes crazy. All right, you guys, and this is the completed look. I think it looks so pretty, so healthy. It's not extremely heavy. I think that Tati video that she did with Scott Barnes kind of inspired a lot of people on here, at least what I've been seeing lately, to kind of explore a little bit more with cream products. Now obviously he used powder as well, but I wanted to put something out there for you guys who are more on the dry side and struggle. This is all cream, but the key is using cream products that you know will set down. I know the Catrice foundation will set down. I know the Marc Jacobs concealer will set down. The contour, the blush, the highlight, all of that is gonna set down and stay put, but my face still looks so hydrated. I mean, this is obviously one of the most hydrated, dewy looks I've done here because of using all cream products, and I know that this will stay all day on my face. So I hope this video is helpful to some of you. If you guys have any questions, as always, please let me know below. If you're interested in seeing any more videos from me, please subscribe. It means the world to me. I post every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central and every Sunday at 12 noon Central. I will leave my Instagram down below if you're interested in following me on there as well. I always post on there. Well, I usually post on there when I post a video on here as well because YouTube can be a pain in the butt. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one. Bye-bye.